So we are lost. We are trying to find our way, and this is the second time I've recorded this because my microphone was off. So we're trying to find an overlook, and we have had no luck. We're down in the subway in Lisbon. There's a few people here, but not too many. And we're heading to, where are we heading to? No, I just didn't know what the location was, but we're heading for our COVID test because we need them to go to Rome tomorrow. So we're looking forward to that. We're gonna have some breakfast as well. I think my appointment's at 12:10 and yours is at 12:15. But yes, COVID test. Fun part about traveling. So we just had our first up the nose COVID test. This is the second time I've recorded this because I forgot to put the sound on, which happens to me quite a bit, as you can hear my wife laughing. So it wasn't so bad. It was a bit of a weird sensation, but it wasn't too bad. Once you get the second nostril done, it's not that bad at all. Just a bit of a stinging sensation. I've had a broken nose, so I've had a lot of gauze shoved up there, and it wasn't as bad as that. Pulling that out was horrific. Anyways, so we're heading off to the subway, and we're gonna get on the train, and then we're gonna get on the tram, and we're doing the sightseeing tour, and we're gonna go to see the castle. And then we're gonna just tour around, take it a little easier today because we have a busy day tomorrow.
Hop on, hop off tour.
So the hop on, hop off tour, we're gonna
stay on,
see some sights, go around Lisbon, see a bunch of stuff, and go from there. So keep watching because we'll be showing some more stuff for today. So we're waiting for the hop on, hop off tour. We just missed the last one, so it's about half an hour to the next one. And yes, we think. We never really know. Always an adventure. So we're going to hop on. It's just does a loop of the city. So once we get on that, we're gonna try and find the castle, get off the castle, do a tour of the castle, which I'll include in the video. It'll be in today's video, obviously. And then we'll go to the cathedral if we have time. Monastery. Monastery.
That's what it is.
Sorry, we're atheists. I don't know. They're all the same to us. Anyways. So we're going to do that, and then just kind of wander the city, have some dinner, head back to the Airbnb a little early tonight because we have a very early flight tomorrow and we have to be at the airport at like 5 a.m. or something like that. So we've had our COVID test, like I said earlier in the video. We're just priming up to do some sightseeing, and yeah, we're gonna see some cool stuff. Keep watching, there'll be more to follow. So we've hit a bit of a hiccup. We missed our tour, but that's okay. We're adapting. We rode the streetcar once in the wrong way, once in the right way, but we went too far. We were supposed to be there by 3 and it's now, what time is it? 3:22, so we're way past the time, which is fine. So we're gonna go explore the area here, see what else we can find, and just roll with the punches.
Monumento de saudade, sacrário de tradições. Tens lugar de carinho e de sincera amizade nas minhas recordações. Bairro de gente do mar, varinas e marinheiros, são o fruto que nos dá honrados no trabalho.
What you saw here was filmed in a Fado restaurant where we had dinner that night. It's pretty common in that area around Portugal and Lisbon especially. As you can see here, it was accompanied by 2 guitar players, a bass, and a regular guitar. The guitars are double stringed and have 12 strings altogether. It's a really quite interesting music, and we were lucky enough to take in the Fado Museum, where we saw a lot of exhibits and heard a lot of the Fado music that has been popularized over the last 150, 200 years, and we're lucky enough to learn quite a bit about it. Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to film inside the actual museum, so we can't show you what it was, but I do recommend looking up Fado music or listening to some Fado music just to get an idea of what it is. So what do you got there?
That is ravioli something. I can't remember the name or pronounce, but it's the sheep's milk, cheese, and pear ravioli.
Very good. I got the pasta pescatore, seafood and tomato sauce. So we are lost. We are trying to find our way, and this is the second time I've recorded this because my microphone was off. So we're trying to find an overlook, and we have had no luck so far. So we will continue on this journey until we find what we're looking for. If you never see us again, know that we tried, and this is our last message. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, everybody. This is Brian Kirk to my own beat. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, Lisbon, Portugal, and I don't know what happened, if there was a football thing that happened or something like that, something to do with the World Cup qualifying, but these people have been yelling and screaming and singing for what seems like hours now. We're very tired. I know this kind of thing happens with travel, but this is just a little crazy. Seems like they're moving on, actually. They're not there as in front of that place like they were before, but yeah, we're very tired and we just want to sleep, and this isn't very conducive to sleep. So if anyone knows what happened in Portuguese life today, please put it down in the comments and let me know, because I'd like to know why I'm being kept awake at all hours. Welcome back, everybody. This is Brian Kirk with Eat to My Own Beat, taking the road less traveled, with a continuing on our trip that we took to Lisbon, Portugal, and the rest of them. But this is basically a summary of Lisbon. Just wanted to give a bit of a talk about what we did there and what we saw, and a little bit about what you can do when you are going there. So we stayed in the Barro Alto, which is a great place to stay. It's very close to restaurants, sites, and everyday life in Lisbon. Lisbon is a very old city. Portuguese is the native language that's spoken there, but most places that you go to do speak English, and they speak it quite well. Food is just amazing. If you like seafood, you will love the locale and the choices for food. Fresh fish is something that you'll find everywhere. Cod fritters is a very common dish. It is called bacalhau, and basically what it is cod is preserved by salting it and drying it, and it basically preserved and it could stay for months. It was used during the winter months and whatnot in Lisbon and in Portugal itself, and they were preserved. And then what would happen is you would take water and you put the dried cod into the water, and you would change the water over time, and basically the salt would leach out of the water, or leach out of the cod. Salt would leach out of the cod, sorry, and then as you change it, the cod would become soft, and you'd be able to use it and cook with it again. The cod would be rehydrated, placing it in water and changing the water, like I said, and it'd be soft enough to cook or eat. One of the dishes I really enjoyed many times while I was in Lisbon was the octopus. It could be fried, boiled, and many other ways, I'm sure, as well. But I enjoyed it 2 occasions, I believe. Beautiful butter cooked on top of it. It was so good, and I highly recommend it. Octopus is something that you don't usually find in Western Canada. It's something you find in like seafaring countries, and it was very good. They have some really good dessert in Lisbon as well. They have this custard tart called pastéis de nata, and it's custard baked in a tart shell with some powdered sugar on top of it. It is so good. You can find them pretty much everywhere in Lisbon, but there's an original shop that I'll put a link to in the comments. And well, it's rumored to be the original shop, and they all say that they had them originally, but you can get them at most bakeries or restaurants as a dessert, and highly recommend. I fell in love with them while I was visiting there, and I wish I could have one right now. They were so good. Superbock is the name of the most popular beer in Lisbon. It's a bit of a lager. It's very good, not too heavy, has a lot of flavor to it, goes well with most seafoods, pretty much anything you think of. It's available in most stores, like you go into the corner store and you'd find Superbock there. You wouldn't find many other beers. Superbock would be the one you'd find, and then you'd go to restaurants and they'd have the Superbock umbrellas for the sit under when you're at the restaurants. One of the things that didn't happen while we were in Lisbon was that we didn't have any rain. It was a little overcast a few times we were there, but no actual rain, and that was coming from Western Canada, coming from Vancouver, which we know has a lot of rain. It was quite nice, and it was relaxing. It was about 15 degrees Celsius most days, between 12 and 15 degrees. Never too hot, never too cold. Like I said, I'm used to cold temperatures. Well, not super cold, but colder temperatures. And that was pretty nice. Another liquor that is quite common is called gin yinya, which is a cherry-based drink with sour cherries in the bottle. It's got like a fruity flavor to it, and it has a pitted cherry inside, and you can either have them with or without the cherry. From what I've been able to find, it's only really available in Portugal. They don't really export it. It's not really common outside, so you won't be able to go down to your local liquor store and find it, which is too bad because it really is quite good. If you do make it to Lisbon or Portugal, try to get some ginginia, and you won't be disappointed because it's pretty good. Getting around Lisbon can be quite easy. There's a subway that can get you to most parts of Lisbon, as well as buses and streetcars. Streetcars go back quite a long time. There's even a streetcar that takes you over towards where they have a bridge that looks a lot like the Golden Gate Bridge. So while you're in Lisbon, you can actually feel like you're in San Francisco because they have a bridge very similar to the Golden Gate and a streetcar just like in San Francisco. There are good websites that'll give you information on where to go and how to get there. Yeah, like most places in Europe, you know, TripAdvisor, Google Lisbon, Portugal, traveling, tourism, and whatnot. You can get to Lisbon International Airport, the city, in about 20 to 30 minutes, and it's about 50 euros to the city center. Most of the surrounding cities can be accessed by train for a good price. The Airbnb we stayed at was small, but simple and livable. The bed wasn't very big, and it was lacking power plugs, like places to plug in. We had the converters, but there was only a couple places to plug in, which was unfortunate. Getting into a lot of the buildings there, they're apartments to 4 or 5 floors. When we stayed in, it was, I believe, 4 or 5 floors as well, and it was quite the hike. Narrow stairs, no elevator, so you're going up quite a bit, carrying heavy luggage up to the room you're staying in, and it can be a bit of a challenge if you're tired and do not have a lot of strength in your arms. I'll put a description, like I said, in the video. It was a wonderful location and easy to get to most places. Things you should know before going to Lisbon. Cards are accepted everywhere, and so you do not need to carry a lot of cash. There are bank machines everywhere as well. If you want to learn about the culture, you should take in a history of slavery tour. That's where the Atlantic slave trade started, was in Portugal, and was also the first to end. If you want to learn more about Lisbon history or Portuguese history, please check out the History of Portugal podcast, which is also on my channel, and it has we've been doing some history. We're up to 80 some odd episodes right now, and it will resume next week. I took a bit of a break for our trip, but we will continue with the History of Portugal podcast soon. Also, think about taking in Fado show, and if you haven't heard about Fado, watch this second video I had done in our series, the one on February 3rd. Fado is a musical form of the blues, kind of Portuguese blues. It took place, it was singing songs at the time of the expansion, the Portuguese expansion over to Africa and South America, where people would go off, sailors would go off to explore the world, and they'd never make it back. And this would be sung by the wives and the families of their lost sailors. There's also a Fado Museum in Lisbon. I highly recommend it. It's well worth seeing. You're allowed to take pictures there, but you are not allowed to take any videos. The Fado shows are available everywhere in Lisbon, so you'll be able to take one in. It's usually accompanied with dinner. They do the dinner first, then they do the show afterwards. It is truly a wonderful art form, I would say. Like I said before, Lisbon is a beautiful country, full of history. Check out the castle, mosques. There's a mosque there, there's a cathedral, and there is a Lot of good sights to see. Basically, this is what I'll have left for this Portugal version of our part of the trip. So until next time, keep eating at your own beat, take the road less traveled, have a great day, and join us next week for a video on our arrival to Rome. Thanks for watching and have a great day.